This is RTV6 News at 7, working for you.
And thanks for joining us here at 7 o'clock. Another hot, humid day in central Indiana, and now strong thunderstorms are moving through some areas.
Let's check in now with Storm Team 6 Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory for that forecast. Hey, Kevin.
And here's a view looking northwest from downtown Indianapolis. This is the Methodist Hospital complex and I-65 coming out of downtown. Storms entering northwest Marion County and Boone County. That's the view of those. There's the line of storms moving actually to the west, maybe a little southwest. It's been putting down heavy rainfall, no doubt about that. These are radar estimates now of the storms as they moved out of Madison County through Hamilton, putting down 2 inches of rain or more in spots, leading to localized flooding. That's ongoing. Heaviest rain now, Frankfort. There's some storms near Lafayette as well. This comes down south to Zionsville, just about crossed 421 into Boone and Clinton counties. As you can see, take the lightning off, you get a better view of these individual cells. I want to point out this line right here. See that squiggly line? When you feel the cool air that rushes out ahead of the rain, that's what we call the outflow boundary. It'll help build additional thunderstorms to the west and southwest. Rainfall rates exceed an inch in an hour's period of time. We'll talk about when rain is not in the forecast coming up.
This is addressing issues that are happening that are outside the will of God with all people. You know, with police, with black-on-black crime, with white-collar crime, you name it. We're coming against the core of it, which is evil.
On the northeast side Monday night, a pop-up prayer service that organizers say they will keep holding across the city. This time the group focused on the area where a 16-year-old girl was hit and killed by a stray bullet. RTV6's Cameron Riddle shows you why more prayer events like this will continue through the summer.
God, we need you.
In 2020, there is plenty to protest about. And according to Barbara Golder, even more to pray about.
You can protest till you're blue in the face, but if you don't change the heart of a person, then nothing is going to really change.
That is the energy fueling this drive-by prayer on the corner of East 38th Street and Arlington Avenue on the city's east side. A part of the city Golder says needs serious help.
There's a spirit that we believe rests on the east side of Indianapolis. Homicides, burglaries, thefts, people getting mugged and things of that nature. And so we came here so that we could take authority over all of that spiritual wickedness and bring all of our crime rates down.
The corner of 38th and Arlington is where 16-year-old Naya Mae Cope's life was cut short when she was hit and killed by a stray bullet. Cope was riding in a car with her family in the overnight hours of May 3rd, while a large crowd gathered in the old Value City parking lot. Police believe the bullet may have come from the crowd. Cope's death is one of the many issues that called this drive-by prayer back to that very same parking lot.
Too much murder. Too many things are going on this side of town. And so the church has to rise up and start going out beyond the four walls of our churches and do what we say is going to bring deliverance, and that's prayer.
Golder says the praying will continue each week in parts of the city where brighter days are needed.
A lot of people won't walk into a church, but if we can catch you as you're going into a store or driving down the street, and if a seed is sown that will change your life forever, then it's worth every effort that we put forth.
In Indianapolis, Cameron Riddle, RTV6.
Well, next Monday, the group plans to pray at the corner of 71st and Michigan on Indy's northwest side. That's near where the corner where Dre John Reed was shot and killed by IMPD.
More than 126,000 Americans have died from COVID-19, according to Johns Hopkins University. That's a quarter of the global death toll, more than any other country. The Indiana State Department of Health is reporting 2,448 deaths since the pandemic began. That is 16 more than yesterday. And while deaths and positive tests continue to increase, we have not yet seen spikes in COVID-19 cases like other states are dealing with. Still, top health officials are warning things will get worse before they get better. ABC's Roy has the latest.
A dire new warning from the nation's top health officials.
I would not be surprised if we go up
to 100,000 a day if this does not turn around, and so I am very concerned.
Coronavirus Task Force member Dr. Anthony Fauci and the head of the CDC, Dr. Robert Redfield, testifying at a Senate hearing, saying the U.S. healthcare system could face serious challenges come fall if COVID-19 and flu activity happen simultaneously. Meantime, in the race to develop a vaccine, the World Health Organization reports 17 possibilities are in clinical evaluation, with one in wide-scale human trials. While progress looks promising, success isn't guaranteed.
The biggest challenge is just the sheer number of vaccines that will be needed.
At least 32 states are seeing a rise in cases. Florida now has more than 150,000 reported cases, and 14% of those tested are positive. There's still no federal mask requirement, and many states aren't mandating them either.
It is critical that we all take the personal responsibility to slow the transmission of COVID-19 and embrace the universal use of face coverings.
Some beaches in Florida and California will be closed for the July 4th holiday weekend. Los Angeles County is the first in the country with more than 100,000 confirmed cases. 23 states in total are facing an increase in hospitalizations, including Arizona, where ICUs are at 88% capacity.
I will be in a patient's room in full PPE doing an intubation, and I am constantly getting calls about someone else who is in trouble.
Despite advice from top health officials to wear face masks and avoid large crowds, President Trump will be holding another large campaign event this weekend in South Dakota. The governor telling Fox News that masks will be handed out but not required, and that there won't be social distancing. Health experts worry that could cause a surge in cases. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
The Rebound Indiana is bringing you advice from experts that can help you and your family get through this COVID-19 pandemic.
And whether your child is graduating high school or college, they are taking steps to become more independent. RTV6's Lauren Casey spoke with an expert to find some simple ideas for making that adjustment a little easier.
I did end up working some 4 in the morning shifts, which were pretty rough being in school, but overall, I've been able to, pay for my own gas.
Devin Welch is a recent Center Grove grad heading to Ball State to study telecommunications. During his time as a Trojan, he balanced playing soccer with working at Kroger part-time. And this summer, he's clocking in around 30 hours a week.
Also, I have money set aside just for college that I haven't touched ever. So that's also a good thing.
While leaving home will be a new experience, planning ahead and working in the real world is nothing new. Devin credits his dad for helping him plan financially for the future.
Because he comes from owning a business himself, so he deals with that every single day. So I learned a lot from him. He's the one that pushed me to get a job. I got that job at 16 right away.
So whether you're heading to college like Devin or taking your first job, applying for your first loans, or any other milestones, Rebecca Gramolia, a financial expert for Top Cash Back, has these 5 easy tips to help you.
With graduation happening, maybe you have received some cash gifts from friends and family, and you may be so excited thinking, oh my God, I have all this money now. What can I buy? Definitely take a step back and reconsider, can I save this? Can I use this for something else? And with an emergency fund, it's great to set aside money for something, unexpected that you may need money for down the road. If you have a full-time job or a part-time job, anything like that, you're going to want to use up to 50% of your after-tax income on any essentials such as housing and food. So maybe you are paying for your room and board, an off-campus apartment, something like that. 20% towards any debt repayments and savings, so maybe student loans, and up to 30% on any lifestyle choices, so anything that really doesn't fall into those categories. So, with building credit, always look for something like a credit card that will best fit your lifestyle. And, the longer you have the credit card, the better it looks on your credit report with your credit history. I think students have it really, they're in luck. There's a lot of student discounts out there, so it's always really important to first always look for those. Or even if you're shopping online, like most of us are during this time, open a new tab, see if you can get the item for cheaper somewhere else. with social media or, maybe meeting new people and seeing things that they have that you may not. Focus on your financial priorities, your goals for school. Down the road, as long as you're saving, you can, of course, have that money to spend on those cool things later.
Working for you, Lauren Casey, RTV6.
And you can find those tips and more financial advice on our website at theindychannel.com/rebound.
A new study says students of color are disproportionately affected by student debt. A report by the Student Borrower Protection Center shows that students in Black and Latino neighborhoods rely more on student loans. They're also more likely to struggle to pay the money back. Experts say this is a result of racial disparities, which have not allowed families of color to build generational wealth.
The crack of the bat silenced the Indians' 2020 season was canceled today. Coming up, what it means for the team's players going into next year.
But first, the latest on the gaggle of geese in one Carmel neighborhood, why the birds might be spared, at least for this year.
This is RTV6 News at 7, working for you.
It looks like the geese we told you about last week in a Carmel neighborhood will be safe, at least for now. Neighbors wanted to save about 70 geese from being euthanized. RTV6's Troy Washington explains the reason the geese are still alive today.
In the scheme of things, with everything that's going on in this world, COVID, people being killed in the streets, are these geese really the biggest issue for us to be dealing with?
Barbara DeSimone has been living in Lexington Farms for 3 decades. She wants to save the geese that are in danger of being euthanized. RTV6 has tried since last Tuesday to get a hold of the Homeowners Association. They keep telling us they are going to respond, but we are yet to get their perspective on the issue because they aren't giving it to us.
The only issue I see with the geese is that sometimes I have to step around some poop. But other than that, they're beautiful, and we love seeing the baby geese.
For her, it's been a delightful experience, but everyone doesn't share that outlook. Several other residents wouldn't go on camera, but reached out to us saying the geese have gotten aggressive over the years and aren't afraid of people at this point.
One of the residents said to me, "Hey, we've got these ponds. What do people expect? They're going to come here. They stay here for a while and then they leave."
The complaints led the Homeowners Association to step in. They voted and decided to kill the geese. But we checked with the Indiana Department of Natural Resources and found the neighborhood needs a permit for geese control. They haven't received that permit, so for now at least, the geese are safe.
The bottom line is if it has to be done, that the geese are removed, why slaughter them? Why quote unquote euthanize them?
These residents are hoping that now they've got time to come up with a better solution. If the geese must leave their neighborhood, they at least want them alive. Working for you in Carmel, Troy Washington, RTV6.
Well, we were told by residents the only reason some supported euthanizing the geese is because they were told the meat could help feed families in need.
Thunderstorms still on the move through Lafayette, Frankfort, just east or west of Lebanon. Now they're moving in an odd direction around low pressure. We'll talk about what happens after tonight's downpours.
Parties. Feed your happy.
And a reminder, RTV6 and our partners at Radio 1 are hosting a virtual town hall called A Conversation on Race, Connecting Central Indiana. The hour-long program is a chance to have a necessary talk about race, one that can often be uncomfortable. The panelists will discuss where we are right now, how to move forward, and how to deal with interactions with law enforcement. You can watch The Conversation on Race this Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. right here on RTV6. It will also be simulcast on 3 Radio 1 stations. Kevin.
Well, the sky looks intimidating as you look to the northwest of downtown Indy. That's where thunderstorms moving through Boone County. Northwest Marion, we may see some development here in just a little bit. There's the area of Methodist Hospital and I-65 cutting through downtown. Tomorrow, probability of rain about 40%, but look what we don't have in the forecast Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Rain chances minimal. Chances of dry weather are great, so that's good as we head into the 4th of July weekend. The humidity level remains rather high. It will come down a bit because we've got a lot of wiggle room. It's been tropical around central Indiana. We'll stay in the humid or very humid category right on through the weekend. And our temperatures, if 90 degrees is the bar, you can see that we'll be above that on several occasions. Question is, will we be 91, 92, maybe a little warmer than that in some spots? Regardless, it will be warm. From Indianapolis northwest, that's where the thunderstorms sit now, and I'll show you the strongest in western portions then of Clinton County. They've cleared Frankfort, headed toward Lafayette, southern Tippecanoe County, really between Crawfordsville and Lafayette. As you see here, see this little blip just starting to build in northern Marion County. That may come towards Speedway, Eagle Creek Reservoir, and then into eastern Hendricks County. This hasn't moved much. That just shows you part of the problem. You just watch the clock, and it's in northern portions of Rush County an hour ago, and it's still there. That's why we get these flooding areas. Street flooding as a result of heavy rainfall in a short period of time. 76 in Fishers, that's rain-cooled air. A couple of inches with isolated higher amounts throughout a big part of Hamilton County this evening. 84 in Zionsville. These little strips show you where that rain has been moving, where the cooler temperatures sit. Temperature in Terre Haute at 81. During the day tomorrow, we start out dry. Shower, thunderstorm chances increase about 1 o'clock, just like clockwork here with the heat of the day. Focus will be to the west and southwest as we get into the afternoon and evening hours. Temperatures tomorrow, upper 80s once again. We'll warm from there. I show you Thursday. Watch the clock change. You don't see thunderstorms build through the day. That begins a trend where our rain chances are low and temperatures will be quite high. 6 days in a row, we have the potential to be at 60 degrees or warmer. Right now, it looks dry Thursday into and through the 4th of July.
A hot holiday weekend, and Major League Baseball is scheduled to restart later this month, but that will not be the case for the minor leagues, including the Indianapolis Indians. Brad Brown has more on today's announcement of a season that's long gone.
They had held out hope that there would still be some baseball here this summer, but the news came down on Tuesday that the International League, for the first time in its 137-year history, had to cancel its season. And so the Indians' remainder of 2020 will be spent silent here at Victory Field. The news coming down just after 5 o'clock this afternoon, as the Tribe had hoped perhaps to be part of a shortened 60-game season upon the announcement of Major League Baseball made for their shortened season just a week ago. But ultimately, Indians general manager Randy Lewandowski says the logistics of trying to put together a makeshift season among the 14 International League cities was just too much, and so the players and staff and everybody involved in getting ready for this one will have to let it go until April of 2021.
That's just the sad part for the players and for the coaching staff, is that, you know, again, baseball's a rite of passage. It's a springtime tradition. They're going to miss out on 2020. And they miss a year of their career. Their careers are only so long, and we feel really bad for those guys that aren't on the taxi squad, that aren't going to be in big league camp. And there's a substantial amount of them that were with us last year and were projected to be with us this year too.
Now, Victory Field will not sit completely silent for the remainder of this summer. There are some prospect level tournaments taking place here over the course of the next couple of weeks. The Indians are planning some community related events as well. At Victory Field, Brad Brown, RTV6.
Thank you, Transitions, for helping me grow my hair back.
Ford is launching a program to help ease financial anxiety during this uncertain time. The Ford Promise program lets people return their vehicle if they lose their job because of the pandemic. It covers models from 2019 to 2021, both new and used cars and leased or financed vehicles. The program runs through the end of September.
Fireworks sales are skyrocketing thanks to the pandemic. The American Pyrotechnics Association says it is predicting a record year in fireworks sales. People are buying fireworks since a lot of 4th of July celebrations have been canceled, but sales have been going up since May. People in the industry say families are bored from being on lockdown, so they're looking for an affordable entertainment at home.
And more thunderstorms may develop in Marion and Hendricks counties here in the next hour, but you can see the heaviest rain from Frankfort to Lafayette, then Williamsport and Petersburg. We'll talk about a decreasing chance of rain tonight at 11.
Thank you for making RTV6 your choice for news. Our next newscast is tonight at 11. We'll see you then.